We begin with the latest on the Ukraine war. It seems like the tables of diplomacy have turned again, and this time Russian President Vladimir Putin finds himself in the same situation as Ukraine's Zelensky. Will he accept US President Donald Trump's proposal for peace, or will he reject it? Donald Trump has warned Russia's Putin of devastating sanctions if Moscow refused a deal on a 30-day ceasefire, which Ukraine has already accepted after talks with the US in Jeddah.
There are things you could do that wouldn't be pleasant in a financial sense. I can do things financially that would be very bad for Russia. I don't want to do that because I want to get peace. I want to see peace, and we'll see. But in a financial sense, yeah, we could do things very bad for Russia. It would be devastating for Russia, but I don't want to do that because I want to see peace. And we're getting close to maybe getting something done. We've got Ukraine done, and as you know, I've always said that Ukraine might have been the more difficult party. You were here a week ago when some interesting things happened. I had somebody that didn't seem to want peace. Now he's agreed to peace. So we'll see what happens.
Kiev, Washington and Europe are waiting for Moscow's response to the US proposal. Trump's special envoy, Steve Witkoff, is expected to hold talks with Putin this week. The US president said he had received positive messages regarding the ceasefire, but added that a positive message means nothing.
Vladimir Putin will keep the ceasefire, considering that he's broken them in the past?
We haven't spoken to him yet with substance because we just found out and we just were able to get Ukraine to agree. So we're going to know very soon. I've gotten some positive messages, but a positive message means nothing. This is a very serious situation. This is a situation that could lead to World War III. And Biden should have never let it happen. Russia took Georgia from Bush, right? They took Crimea from a man named Obama, Barack Hussein Obama, right? They're trying to take the whole thing from Biden. They're going for the whole ball of wax. Who is the only one that never took anything from? Trump.
The Kremlin says it is studying the ceasefire deal and that a phone call between US President Trump and Russian President Putin is possible. Reports say Vladimir Putin is ready with 3 demands for a ceasefire deal. Reports say the first demand is that Ukraine must formally commit to neutrality. The second is for Ukraine to abandon any ambition to join NATO. And the third is recognition of Russian claims to annexed territory. Ukraine says it is ready to do everything to achieve peace, but accuses Putin of making maximalist demands deliberately.
Russia needs to say very clearly, they want peace or not. They want to end this war, which they started or not. And this is today the position of Ukraine was absolutely clear. It's absolutely understandable. And now it's important that the people in the world will understand, because this war, it's created the many crises. And this is make the influence to all the world. And you know, it's important that all the people in the world will understand who want peace.
Do you think that
need to act.
After the Ukraine agreed to a U.S. proposal on ceasefire, the U.S. Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, said the ball was now in Moscow's court. But initial signals from Russia have not exactly been encouraging. Amidst the diplomatic parleys, Russian President Putin visited Kursk for the first time since Ukraine party invaded the Russian region in an offensive. Putin said his army was on the brink of fully liberating Kursk.
Our task is in the nearest future, in the shortest possible time, to completely defeat the enemy who has dug in on the territory of Kursk region and is still conducting military operations here, to completely liberate the territory of Kursk region, to restore the situation along the state borderline. And, of course, we need to think, I would ask you to think about the future and the creation of a security zone along the state border. We need to think about this too.
Ukraine had been trying to hold parts of Kursk as a bargaining chip, but its battlefield positions have been under heavy pressure. Kiev said it was pulling back its troops to minimize losses.
I am very serious about a ceasefire, and for me it is important to end the war. I want the President of the United States to see it. I want Americans to see and feel it. I want Europe and all to be in alliance in order to do everything to force Russia to end this war. Our troops in Kursk region are performing their tasks. Russians are trying to put maximum pressure on our troops. Military command is doing what it must. It is preserving lives of our soldiers.
For now, Moscow has made it clear it would make its own decisions about the war and not follow the lead set by Washington and Kiev in Saudi Arabia. So, did Putin trick Trump into thinking he wanted peace and that Zelensky was a warmonger?
Merci beaucoup. Hi, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Namaste, Mr. President.
Bharat Kelogon, Komeri Namaste.
How many people generally follow you in interviews?
Typically in a month we have viewers up to 150 million, that's more than twice the population of France. And in the last 2 years we had 3 billion viewers. So I say, Laurent, this is your chance to be famous. You're on Firstpost. One word to describe your equation with Prime Minister Modi.
Amitié.
As India and France work together, are you creating a new era of non-alignment in the technology space?
India is a training superpower. 1 million engineers a year, more than all of Europe and the US combined. So we have that partnership. We have a partnership on the environment and the economy. We also have civilian nuclear programs, and that is something we've developed far beyond the France-India relationship. So we want to work together on AI.
And then comes China with its DeepSeek, creating models at a fraction of the cost. Did that innovation take you by surprise? Did that breakthrough make you sit up and think, what did the Chinese do and how?
But what did DeepSeek do? They took everything that was already available from the last AI model, and then they recalibrated it.
So are you going to ban Chinese AI in France?
So we don't have this American approach of banning tech because of where it comes from.